Hi everyone, I'm Tanya Fancher. I'm a professor at the UC Davis School of Medicine. I'm super excited to talk to you today about COMPADRE, which is the California-Oregon Medical Partnership to address health disparities in rural education and health. And it's a robust partnership with OHSU, and George Mexicano is our primary partner up at OHSU, although there's lots of others I'll tell you about. So let me just start with the why. Really, as you see here on the right side, this is a map of both California and Oregon, and the dark green indicates bad. And really what it shows is these are the counties in both of our states that have the worst health outcomes. You'll see that if I show you a map of California that looks at workforce shortages, we could look at limited access to care, we could look at rurality, we could look at poverty, we could look at racial and ethnic minority communities, you will see that those almost directly overlap with the areas of most need. So between OHSU and Sacramento, here at UC Davis, we thought, you know what, we could probably do something about that. So what we're going to do is we're creating a very robust GME collaborative with many of you guys, I hope, between Sacramento and Portland. And we need to reduce the health disparities in these communities by transforming the physician workforce. So our new physician workforce will be better prepared, they'll be more equitably distributed, and more deeply connected to underserved communities between our two regions. So that means we've partnered with 10 health systems, 16 primary hospitals, 10 GME sponsors, a whole host of FQHCs and community health centers, and 31 GME programs, including family medicine, internal medicine, psychiatry, general surgery, EM, pediatrics, and OB, because really all of those physicians are needed to make a difference in this region. And I think why this makes sense between OHSU and UC Davis, OHSU has done this incredible job at creating flexible UME opportunities for their medical students. They've had a long-term commitment to rural health care, teaching both the medical students and the residents to practice in rural communities. Clearly, they're a leader in primary care, have learning portfolios for their students, and have been a primary innovator in how we develop coaches both for medical students and residents. And at Davis, we have a 3-year MD program. We're all about primary care, and we offer programs already that focus on urban, rural, and regional pathways. And I would say that UC Davis really lives, eats, and breathes diversity and inclusion. And so together, we're going to build more and even clearer pathways for medical students and trainees to serve in the areas where they're needed the most. So how are we going to do that? We have 5 primary objectives. Our first is really focused on UME to GME. We want to look at off-cycle GME. So how can we create pathways that students graduate from medical school when they're ready and enter residency off-cycle? We want to take our medical students and embed them in GME as soon as possible. We know that when you train in a GME program, you're most likely to stay in that place, so we want our students working in those rural GME programs as soon as possible. And through this process, we need to think about articulation agreements, both from the pre-med side into medical school, and then from medical school into residency, and wow, wouldn't it be great to do that into practice as well. Secondly, we're going to develop a new curriculum that's focused on practice in under-resourced communities. So we know that health system science is incredibly important. We want to add to that compendium of knowledge and teaching to focus really on rural communities and also tribal communities. We're going to work with our community partners to develop that curriculum. We're going to have coaches from the community as well that will be the best guides for students on how to thrive in these communities. And this will require quite a bit of faculty development, but we're very, very fortunate to say that between OHSU and UC Davis, we're going to centralize that effort and really help each program to develop a robust or enhance their current faculty development program. Third, because wellness is so important and it can be very difficult to practice in a rural community, we really want to focus on wellness for our trainees. So again, helping to create regional wellness champions, a true learning community around residents, regardless of what their affiliation is and regardless of what their specialty is. Fourth, we want to look at admissions practices, so really help us question at the medical school here at Davis and at OHSU, are we admitting the students who are the ones that are going to go to residency in these places and then stay in those places? We want to have the GME programs involved in our medical school admissions. We want to look at these real linkages between the community health centers and the medical schools and embrace the idea of holistic selection and early differentiation within medical school. And finally, we want to look at our long-term outcomes. So the original graph I showed you looked at the poor health outcomes in the region. So we want to be able to track those health outcomes. We'll take our students, our resident learners, follow them over time, and also follow the health outcomes for the community so we can actually see that we're making a difference. And if we're not, then we'll have to change what we do. So by 2024, we expect to have about 200 learners enrolled in this program, but thousands more that will benefit from the program. And in the end, we'll have new system citizen physicians who are engaged with their patients, engaged with their communities, so that health and health equity improve. Thank you.